Open world games have fallen off in recent years. There was a time where games that let you explore a large open world would be seen like magic. Right now it feels more like a chore to play them. You go online and hear people crying about how long it takes to beat games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and other Ubisoft slop quite often. But it wasn't always like that. Games like the Driver series and Shenmue showed a lot of potential for what open worlds in gaming could look like. Driver had you doing crazy car chases in a pretty large open world for a PS1, and Shenmue was straight up revolutionary for the time with what the team at Sega cooked up on the Dreamcast. But it wasn't until King Shiesty himself, Rockstar Games, cooked up something crazy: Grand Theft Auto 3. This game really popularized the genre and low-key became the catalyst that turned Rockstar into the money-hungry juggernauts they are today. The game was great for the time. A seamless world with no loading screens between zones, missions that had you going all around the city, dynamic weather, fire radio stations. For a lot of people, it was straight up sorcery seeing all that run on a PS2. Today, GTA 3 is considered quite archaic with its game structure. It came with a lot of problems, horrible difficulty spikes, felt like almost every mission had an unnecessary timer, a very weak story, and so on. But it was a good blueprint for the future, and Rockstar really showed what could be capable on a console and improved with every subsequent release in the franchise. Now, with the advent of GTA in the gaming sphere, other developers would try their hand at this crime action open world game design. Investors also wanted some of that GTA money, and developers finally had the blueprint to work off of and create something unique, with varying levels of quality and success, of course. Some games and franchises would pop up like the True Crime series, Just Cause, Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man 2, Mercenaries, the Mafia games, Destroy All Humans, Total Overdose, even The Simpsons Hit and Run, just to name a few. Back then, every game that would even so much as have one large zone in it would be compared to GTA. I remember reading an article on IGN back in the day that compared SSX3 to GTA just because it had open interconnected zones you could race through. Back in the day, and even to some extent today, modern open world games would be referred to as GTA clones. Now, slight tangent, but I don't really like the term clone because it's kind of weird to me to describe something based solely on the qualities of another thing, you know? It's the same way I see the use of the term Souls-like getting thrown around just because a game is a little too hard. People talk about any game and say, oh, it's Dark Souls level hard. And I know the Dark Souls games are very popular and also very difficult. But when I hear someone talk about an older game's difficulty like Devil May Cry 3 or something and go, bro, this game is so hard, it's the Dark Souls of character action games, that grinds my gears, because Devil May Cry 3 predates Demon Souls by a couple of years. Funny I use that example actually because the Devil May Cry series also kind of defined how character action games would play for the future of the industry. Then Ninja Gaiden Black had its own take on the formula, then other games tried their hand too like God Hand, Shinobi, and so on. So I get in a way, you know. A lot of people tend to describe things using what's most popular at the time. Same with the GTA franchise cementing itself as the open world crime action franchise in gaming. Now, all that yapping aside, how does that actually affect the gaming industry? Remember that statement I made about describing something based on the features of another thing? Basically what killed the Saints Row franchise. The first Saints Row game released at a very good time, so that's 2 years after San Andreas and 2 years before GTA 4. Not a lot of people played the first game actually since it was a 360 exclusive, but despite that, it sold very well. The game was fire and is honestly my favorite in the series. I'll attribute a lot of that love to nostalgia because it was the first one I owned and played, but the game was so much fun. Detailed customization, a nice story, unique characters, fun combat, and a surprisingly detailed open world. The main gameplay hook also expanded on what I personally consider an undercooked system from San Andreas, that being the gang territory aspect. The story here is driven by the Saints expanding their empire and taking over the city of Stillwater, which is a simple idea, but it creates a lot of opportunity for experimentation. And although tiring eventually since you have to do them to progress the story, there were also a lot of unique side activities just sprinkled throughout the game. You could tell the devs were very passionate about what they made. Everything was so detailed and thought out. And I personally think the radio station and soundtrack in this one is some of the best I have ever heard in any video game. And when the second game released, you could see they took everything that worked in the first game and doubled down. Better everything, more customization, cars, cars, more diverse activities, missions, better story, deeper story elements, all that, and releasing around the same time as GTA 4 and still selling well. Anybody that knows the franchise will tell you Saints Row 2 is the best out of the bunch by a wide margin. The Saints had a very bright future ahead of them, but I swear, something akin to the Goblin Mask kept whispering to the devs and it wasn't anything good. The games kept being compared to GTA often, and I feel that must have annoyed the team at Volition to a certain extent, because when the third game released, you could see they went all in on the wackier aspects of the franchise and started to really drift away from their roots. This game divided the fan base in a clean half. Half of them liked the chaotic design of the newer games, and the other half just wanted them to return to their roots, grounding the series again and returning to what made them popular in the first place. But Volition was already far too gone. By the fourth game, you were the president of the United States, trapped in the Matrix and fighting aliens for the fate of the world. Yeah, it was very dark times, my friend. And it just got worse with the release of Gat Out of Hell and then Agents of Mayhem. For Agents of Mayhem, I don't think it was all that bad, but the game didn't seem like it knew what it wanted to be, and it also not being a Saints Row game just annoyed fans even more. But then there was Saints Row 2022. Volition impressively found a way to unite the fan base by strategically making a game both sides would hate. This one pretty much put the franchise 6 under, and it'll take like an act of the good Lord to resurrect this series again. There's a lot I want to say about this particular one, but I'll keep that for another video. Anyways, Saints Row kind of shows what happens when studios try to build something based on the qualities of another thing, while forgetting to be its own thing and providing a unique experience for players. It started with them trying to stray far away from a formula that worked just because they were being compared to another gaming property, and subsequently ending with a game series that lost its entire identity and then tried pandering to a dwindling fan base. Now, there's nothing wrong with being inspired by another property, but once you've found your own particular niche, you can't create in spite of your inspirations, and you can't create something earnest without having true passion for it. Why not just build upon what you've created and stick to the aspects that make it good? Now, that might not have been the best example, but it does show what I mean when I say studios have lost that passion for creating unique experiences. Either that or investors don't let developers be creative anymore and focus more on ticking boxes in the genre. Gamers like open worlds, so make the game open world. Gamers prefer longer games, so make it like 500 hours. Make the game world huge with nothing in it and just fill it with a bunch of random scout towers or some rubbish like that. Now bring me my money. Stuff like that just kind of takes away from the experience, you know? But despite all this, I still like open world games. There's a lot of good ones out there, and despite how bad the industry is getting, there will always be more good content out there, more than there would be slop. And despite not being a big fan of GTA anymore, mostly because I didn't really enjoy the recent games, I'm thankful to Rockstar for creating something that really tilted the gaming industry and brought out the creativity from a lot of developers. So here's hoping GTA 6 will do the same. Actually, I'm more hoping they finally give us Bully 2 after that, because I have been starving, bruh. Anyways, thank you for watching this far. The video is a bit chaotic, but I wanted to try and push out something since it's been a while. It's like 2 a.m. right now, so I'm recording on the wraps. Also, I'm practicing talking without a script a little more, as I want to confidently do that more, and I'm pretty sure you can tell the parts where I was yapping without the script. I want to try to do this more in the future, so maybe it'll help like get my points out easier, and I can also get content out faster. Anyways, make sure you drink water, call your family, and sleep well. You're gonna be fine. Bye.